As the demand for the implementation of the United Nations Environment Programme report recommendations continues to grow, church leaders have joined the call for urgent action to address human rights and environmental challenges in the Niger Delta. The Africa Regional Director of the World Council of Churches, Reverend Dr. Ibrahim Yusuf Wushishi, made this appeal at the conclusion of a two-day human rights workshop for church leaders and partners from the region. Here is the report.
The call for the implementation of the UNEP report recommendations was facilitated by representatives from the World Council of Churches, Geneva office, the Christian Association of Nigeria, the Christian Council of Nigeria, and civil society organizations. This workshop is aimed to equip participants with advocacy skills on the UN human rights system and strengthen their engagement in environmental justice efforts. Key discussions centered on the severe environmental and human rights challenges faced by communities in Ogoniland and the Niger Delta, particularly in the wake of renewed calls for oil exploration in the region.
We urge the federal government to implement the recommendations of the United Nations Universal Periodic Review, UPR, of Nigeria in 2024 and from earlier reviews. We call on oil and gas companies operating in Niger Delta to adhere to global best practices by complying with existing laws such as the Petroleum Industrial Act.
The church leaders expressed deep concerns over environmental degradation caused by the oil exploration, pollution of water sources, destruction of livelihoods, and the slow implementation of the UNEP report recommendations.
The call for the implementation of the 2011 UNEP report is long overdue, and Christian Council of Nigeria is calling on the federal government and all the people who are responsible for the implementation of this report to go ahead and implement it. So we are very excited that the World Council of Churches has not left us behind in this particular fight.
But it's been very hard to hear of the suffering of the Ogoni people and the people of the Niger Delta. And we're here to stand in solidarity with the people of the Niger Delta. We are here to pledge that we will continue to walk with the people and do whatever we can to support their cries for justice, their cries for remediation.
They also criticized international oil companies for failing to adequately compensate communities affected by oil spills and gas flaring, while accusing regulatory agencies of lacking the technical and financial capacity to enforce compliance with environmental laws.
How long are we going to allow the Ogoni people to cry? For how long are we going to allow the injustice that is being perpetrated in this region of our nation? For how long are we going to allow the women who are victims of these degradations, women who every day find it difficult to feed their children? For how long are we going to allow the young people over there in Ogoni land to go without meaningful resources? Let us all rise to reduce the level of gender-based violence that is being experienced in that region.
The World Council of Churches is embarked on what we call pastoral and ecumenical accompaniment. And what we are doing these 2 days has been nothing but that, as a fellowship of churches that is numbering about 345 member churches from 120 different countries, having a total followership of over 600 million. The WCC felt there is need to move close to their members to accompany them. My role in WCC is working on peace building in Africa and join all the people from Niger Delta to be united in their movement and in their struggle.
This communique also urged greater inclusion of marginalized groups such as women, children, and persons with disabilities in policy discussions and decision-making process related to environmental justice.